A lot of my works are a little bit critic about the society we live in, like how we as humans treat the planet and also animals. I draw a lot of dolphins and killer whales, we call them killer whales, but they're just animals, just as humans. But we use or people use animals a lot in like Flipper. I draw Flipper a lot, the dolphin. They are used into the entertainment industry, for children movies and things like this. But then those animals are captured and getting depressed. So that's why I'm drawn to. That's like one of my main subjects is like how we treat animals. I did graphic design academy, and after that I studied photography. So for a few years I did like freelance logo design, and I was into photography a lot. And then after a few years I quit it. I didn't like it anymore, and I just quit creativity for 3 years almost, I think. So I thought like, I'm never gonna do something creative anymore. And then I just started drawing with my hands, like when I was a kid. From there it started. I think it was 2017 when I started drawing again. Yeah, so and I moved to Berlin. It's a very creative city, and I moved there in 2018 to focus on my creativity. I got inspired. A lot of the people are and artists are living there and making things. Like anything is impossible. So I felt like, okay, so I can do something with illustration, and I just started making things. And then I decided I want to do these art events. I never did that before. So I was preparing that in 2019. So I thought like, oh, let's do that in 2020. But then COVID came, and it was around that time I came up with the name Burning Desk as well. Yeah, that took me quite a long time. I think like half a year to come up with a name. Burning Desk was in between that list from the very start. Yeah, and after half a year, I decided I really like that name. And like when I'm working, my desk is like really messy. So I have a lot of things that inspire me as well. I have like a cluttered desk. So yeah, Burning Desks really fits me as an artist and my style. I'm not sure if it has something to do with my graphic design background, but I always watch like packaging material, and I'm really drawn to fun packaging. But also like the old school like toys and stuff from the 90s. I really like those stuff. So now I have a lot in my studio for inspiration. I think that's why my stuff is colorful as well. When I was a kid on lower school, I always liked to make like small books. I think a lot of kids are doing that. And then even when I was studying graphic design and photography, it was on the art academy. I still make this like small books, but I didn't know the like zines. I didn't. Instagram was not there yet, and so I never heard from zines. So I didn't know it was a thing. And so I made these small books for projects, but then I was like, okay, what do I do with it? So I just did nothing with it, just for my study. And when Instagram came, then I saw like a lot of zine makers and things, and I noticed like it's really like yeah, like how do you say that? It's really like a different world, of scene makers and small publishers. People make them just like me, like these scenes. So yeah, that's basically why I start doing it. What I'm doing is first come up with a subject, or I make up like a quote, like I have this quote like Flipper died for our fun. It pops up in my head, and then I note it, write it down somewhere, or in my phone. I have a lot of notes, and it can be like for a year I don't do anything with this quote. Then I get the idea like, oh, I want to make this drawing with this quote. For a long time before I started using Instagram, my work was only on my desk and maybe friends saw it, but I wasn't really showing my work to a lot of people. So I thought when I was looking at my own works, I thought like, oh, it's a little bit depressing or something. And then when I started using Instagram, so I shared my work with the outside world, then I started notice that people found my works funny, and I don't know. So for me, it's kind of like surprising. Making art is not that hard, and what is art is like very broad. Some call this art, some call that art, but it's very hard to make a living out of only illustrating or the things I do. So I'm thinking about doing more projects in the future, but yeah, where do I see myself? Like, it's kind of funny because I'm right now in this phase that I'm like thinking about other things, I like to be, because one of the projects is, yeah, and the other one as well, it's also a zine, and the other one is going to be a book. So I was thinking to maybe more head to the direction to like be like a self-publisher. I am a self-publisher, but more official. So maybe do more with like real books, but only like, special books, I make myself. So that's something I'm really like thinking about lately. So that's something I'm thinking about. Like, I have some subjects, and the grieving project is gonna be a book. So I was thinking maybe that's an interesting thing to do. And the other thing I have is like totally different, because I'm also thinking like, yeah, it's hard to get like a real living out of it, to maybe like start my own shop in the future, combined with secondhand stuff and like zines from other artists and artworks, and like a small gallery, but not too high end, something like it. That are the things that I'm thinking about.